Hi, welcome back. The other day I talked about how if you have an issue that you're concerned about, in the first 100 days, you want to be able to talk to the politician, help them wave their magic wand, and hopefully you are able to then get something done. That's really the key to moving ahead in the, quote, legislative area. One of the things that inspired me to think about this is the story of a 10-year-old girl, Paige Flinchbaugh, in Pennsylvania, who wrote an essay and then, through her class, submitted it. And at the time, Senator Ryan Ament in Pennsylvania selected her essay, and what it was a proposal for a new law. And she ended up moving that forward. He invited her to speak about it, and this is on YouTube now, and I'll include the link to that as well. And the story is pretty interesting because she was only 10 years old, yet she was able to substantially make a technical change to an existing law at the state level. And I looked at that and thought, so many people are frustrated because they say they can't get something done or they're choosing different ways of doing this. But there are a handful of senators and assemblymen in the different states who have been doing this for a while. One in particular in California is Senator Joe Simitian, who from 2002 to 2012, while he was in office, he ran a contest. And the contest was called There Ought to Be a Law. And now this has spread around. It doesn't exist everywhere. It doesn't exist in every state, but it basically is a way for citizens, in a very, very simple way, to draft an idea that they have for a law. And he asks just 5 or 6 questions. What is your law? What is it about? What do you want to accomplish? Who would support you? Who would oppose you? Those kinds of things. And again, it's very simple. And I hope to include some more information so that you can have this. But it really is a precursor to becoming engaged. So Senator Jerry Hill in California now has that in his district. And then it got picked up by Catherine Baker in the East Bay. This is in Northern California. And other legislators are doing it as well. It's interesting because it only applies to the constituents in the district where they make that available. And my guess is not a lot of people know about it, but I think it's a really good effort. The interesting thing too is that a number of elected leaders in the state of Pennsylvania picked up on that idea, and they also ran with it, and they're making that available to their citizens so people can come forward and suggest laws, change laws, repeal laws, amend laws. So wouldn't it be amazing if that went everywhere? Wouldn't it be amazing if the ability for ordinary people in a very simple way to come together and assert the kinds of things that they want to get done and just do it using current technology? And so I mention that because that really is the focus of what iLobby is trying to do. What we're doing is saying we have an independent platform where anybody can come in and create an idea for a law or change a law or anything that you find is egregious, and it's not an unusual thing. I mean, it's part of the First Amendment. It's the right to petition the government for grievances. But when you petition, it isn't just about saying, oh, I signed a petition, which many people think, that if they sign a petition, that's simply enough. I think the problem with that is that one person has drafted it, you don't get to comment, there is no debate, and it doesn't have the same legislative power as it would if more people came together who were authenticated in the various districts and then had representation to be able to move it forward. The other thing that distinguishes what we're doing is it's cross-district. So if someone in Texas or Florida or New York had an idea and they put that up, and one of the members was sitting on a committee and they happened to be in my district in California, then I would have the ability to influence that decision by supporting their effort. And they might not even know it, but it's part of the whole network of how this can come together, and people through simple voting, debating, arguing, pledging, petitioning, all of that can really be helpful and informs the lawmakers as well. So I know I put a lot of information in here around that, but again, in response to the idea for more information, how do you lobby and how do you get stuff done, those are just a couple of ideas of how people can actually get engaged. So I wanted to share that with you because I thought that the question of saying, what is my issue, what do I want to get done, how do I do it, that's going to be evergreen. That's going to go on forever. So even if the person you elected into office is there and they don't do everything that you want, or they, it's not the person that you wanted, you still have the ability to appeal and request and, influence them and encourage them. And there's lots of ways of doing that.
Want to know more? Subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit iLobby.mykajabi.com for more information.